Happy Wednesday, August 14th, 2024, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, we're going to be mentioning the heat and humidity that continues with the streak of 100-degree temperatures across the southern United States over the next several days. And over the top of the heat, severe weather chances across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and into the Ohio Valley we'll talk about through the end of this week. And we're looking at Hurricane Ernesto in the Atlantic Ocean, where it's going, the impacts, and everything that you need to know about Hurricane Ernesto in the video. So make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Folks, we are already approaching 95,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to help me get closer to 95,000 and ultimately 100,000 subscribers. Also, if you like today's content, make sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below. It goes a long way in helping out. Also, make sure to leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. So looking here at the GOES satellite imagery across North America and the adjacent Atlantic Ocean, we are actually seeing the ring of fire pattern across the United States. This is a pattern typical for summer. You have a ridge of high pressure across the desert southwest and the southern plains, and over the top of that, an enhanced jet stream, like a highway of storms, will be moving across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and into the Ohio Valley. And we have some of those storms out there today. And over here in the Atlantic, we are watching Hurricane Ernesto, that is now a Category 1 hurricane. That's going to be pushing northbound into portions of the Northwest Atlantic and perhaps towards Canada as we go over the next few days. So let's dive into the forecast for you folks. Today, looking here at the mainland United States, we have that ridge of high pressure extending from Southern California all the way along the Red River Valley here in the Southern Plains, down into the Gulf Coast states here, including Florida. And that will just continue as we go through the rest of this work week, going into Thursday tomorrow, and then going into Friday on the 16th of August as well. And you can see here the weather alerts in the orange, those are heat advisories. In the purples, into the Tulsa area, back over here in toward Fort Smith, Arkansas, those are excessive heat warnings, where we are seeing some pretty strong heating down here across the southern United States. Here are your high temperatures this afternoon on Wednesday, August 14th. More triple digits here. The streak continues across portions there of Oklahoma, into Texas, into parts of Arkansas and Louisiana, some of that even into southern Mississippi as well. The streak will continue as we go into Thursday afternoon. Some of that heat, those 90-degree temperatures, may start to lift closer to areas like St. Louis and Kansas City and Paducah, Kentucky, as we go into Thursday afternoon. And the same thing as we go into Friday afternoon. It really starts to get hot down here into Texas here, getting into the 105 range, into places like Wichita Falls, Abilene, and even toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area at 103 Friday afternoon. With all the heat around, this is leading to a lot of storm energy, your convective available potential energy. This is leading to severe weather chances. Yesterday, we did see a tornado or landspout here just outside the Denver area, with a lot of wind and hail reports here around the Rockies and Western Plains yesterday on Tuesday, August 13th. There's the storm energy. This is your convective available potential energy. The higher the number, the greater the chance for thunderstorms, and thus the severe weather chances are higher as well. So you can see that here across parts of the plains and into the mid-Missouri Valley today. A lot of that instability starts to work up toward the Chicagoland area and toward Rockford, Illinois, the Davenport Quad Cities region, as we go into tomorrow on Thursday, August 15th, and then that will slide eastward with a cold front into the Ohio Valley on Friday, August 16th. So looking here at the outlook for today, the latest day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk, level 2 out of 5, for areas like Omaha, just south and west of Des Moines into the Kansas City area, extending back towards central Kansas, with a large broad brush dark green area there that is a level 1 out of 5 here across the Dakotas, Nebraska stretching down to the Texas Panhandle, and then back west toward the Rockies into places like Wyoming, northern Colorado, northeast Utah, and eastern Idaho as we go through the day. The tornado threat is highest, with a 5% chance of a tornado within a 25-mile point of the Omaha area, and then down towards portions there just north of Topeka and Kansas City. So going through the afternoon, some isolated storm coverage here. A lot of this is just rain shower, normal garden variety storms this afternoon, but as we go into the evening, supercell thunderstorms are likely to develop somewhere around the Omaha region. back down there toward northeastern and central Kansas. Those could pose a risk for a couple of tornadoes, also damaging winds 60 miles per hour or greater, and also the quarter-size hail or greater as well. Then that'll all congeal into a mesoscale convective system as it progresses eastward through the Hawkeye State of Iowa, southern Minnesota, into northern Missouri, some of that reaching parts of Wisconsin and Illinois by daybreak on Thursday. That could be producing some pretty heavy rainfall there. And then going into Thursday, kind of a complicated forecast. We're going to have a mesoscale convective system moving through the central part of this outlook on Thursday morning, and then the atmospheric recovery behind it could lead to more severe weather Thursday afternoon and more so Thursday evening, with places like Chicago, Rockford, Peoria, St. Louis, back down into Springfield, Illinois, and Missouri, into the Jefferson City area and back toward Kansas City and even Paducah, Kentucky, areas there in that risk on Thursday. And there is a threat for some tornadoes. Areas like Milwaukee, Chicago, back down towards St. Louis, Springfield, the Davenport, Quad Cities area, Rockford, all the way back toward Kansas City and Springfield. Missouri, we could be seeing a 2% chance of a tornado. Would not be surprised if this got upgraded to a 5% as we get closer to the day one outlook for tomorrow. Damaging winds and large hail will also be a concern, over 60 miles per hour for the winds, over quarter size for some of the hail out there. So there's the remnants of the mesoscale convective system that we see tonight crossing through Minnesota, Iowa, northern Missouri, and into Wisconsin and Illinois. That'll be in a fading mode, so kind of weakening as it progresses eastward toward Lake Michigan and towards Indiana as we go into Thursday morning. What happens behind that? Does the sun come out and heat the environment? That will allow the atmosphere to recover. And as a cold front comes in with the main forcing Thursday evening, we could see scattered to numerous development of some supercells. And some of these could be capable of producing those severe hazards we talked about, damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes. And then that ultimately we'll continue to progress eastward into the Ohio Valley early Friday morning into places like Kalamazoo, into Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and Lexington, Kentucky, into early Friday morning. Excuse me, folks. Sorry, I'm battling a little bit of a cold here. So going into Friday, as we go into Friday, we have a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather stretching from Michigan all the way down here into places like northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. A lot of the states there in between. This is mainly on Friday going to be damaging winds and hail, but I would not be surprised for an isolated tornado potential. Going into the rest of the week, going through Saturday, August 17th, there will be multiple rounds of showers and storms over the same areas here into the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley. This could yield an inch or two, maybe 3 inches worth of rain, and especially in some of these major metropolitan hubs like the Twin Cities, Des Moines, down here into Kansas City and St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Lexington, Paducah. A lot of these major metropolitan areas will be seeing some of this heavy rain with these rounds of storms as we go through the rest of the week. Tropical weather update for you folks here. This is Hurricane Ernesto that is now just north and west of Puerto Rico and north and east of the Dominican Republic here. And there is Ernesto right now relative to the United States and the Caribbean. Again, this is going to be peeling northward as we go through the next few days. And the wind history with Hurricane Ernesto, tropical storm force winds did make landfall there into portions of the northern Windward Islands and also in towards Puerto Rico there. The St. Marco Island, also into portions there of Guadalupe and some of those other islands down here into the Windward Islands. You can see that the water temperature anomalies are very warm. So the system is moving north into that environment. So it's going to become a little bit more ripe for rapid intensification. And models are suggesting this is going to get to at least a Category 2, likely even potentially a Category 3 by the time it approaches Bermuda by the weekend. And the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida does have that, just south and west of the Bermuda Islands, a major hurricane by Friday morning at 8 a.m. Right now, just a Category 1 hurricane, 75 miles per hour. Movement is northwest at 16 miles per hour. And you can see, looking at a couple different operational models, the GFS by late this week has that strengthening to a 968 millibar, very strong hurricane. Likely category 2, category 3 strength by later in the week. By the weekend, 965 millibars as it moves across Bermuda there, or just near Bermuda, and then it has it peeling off and actually taking off very quickly away from North America and moving northeast into the far North Atlantic as we go into early next week around this Bermuda high pressure system. And looking at the wave heights here, some elevated wave height concerns for the Carolina coast, Georgia coast, and eastern Florida coast will be possible late this week. That'll move up the mid-Atlantic and New England coast as we go into the weekend and approaching Nova Scotia, and then moving off here with a glancing blow of some higher wave heights there for eastern Canada. So we'll be watching that on the GFS model. In comparison, the European model, the ECMWF here, very similar with the track, maybe a little bit more of a wobble to the west-northwest and a little bit stronger than the GFS is this weekend, down to a 959 millibar low, maybe just west there of Bermuda, and then it takes off very quickly there across Nova Scotia and the eastern Canada, all the way up almost to Greenland as we go into early next week, as that interacts with the trough coming off of the northeast United States. As far as significant wave heights for the European model go, a little bit further west of a jog could bring a little bit higher wave action to places like Nantucket, over here into Long Island, and even the New Jersey coast there, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that for the weekend. And then Nova Scotia, I would say Monday would be the day to watch for some very strong wave potential if the European model does verify, and that could be causing some beach erosion and some storm surge up there in Nova Scotia and parts of eastern Canada into that Monday, even Tuesday timeframe early next week. So make sure to stick with me here with the latest on the heat and humidity, the rounds of severe weather, and Hurricane Ernesto. Will keep you up to date on the latest weather information right at your fingertips. The best way to do that, turn post notifications on, subscribe to the channel down below, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. I'll answer all questions here in the chat after the video here. Make sure to press the like button to help this video get more traction. I definitely appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day out there.